Breaking news. This trade just happened several minutes ago. This is another wild trade, which makes this trade deadline even more entertaining. So the Phoenix Suns have agreed to make a trade with the Nets in which they're going to send Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 first-round picks, a 2028 pick swap for Durant and TJ Warren, according to Woj. This is a huge trade. This is another blockbuster trade. How do I feel about it? I definitely feel from an entertainment perspective, this is amazing. It's one of those deals you want to see how it works out, at least for one of the teams, which is the Suns in this case. Like, do they get it? Like, do they succeed with Durant or will they fail? I think that's the very entertaining part about this. Now, when you think about it, it's the person who wins this trade, I will say, will be determined in the next few years. If Durant can win a championship with the Suns, then I'll say that they won this deal. But they had to give up a lot to get Durant. I actually like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. Both of them are very good role players. I think Mikal Bridges has an outside shot of being a fringe all-star if things break right for him in a certain situation. When I say fringe all-star, I mean a guy who can get to the all-star game maybe once or twice in his career if they have a career year. He's a very good player, a very good 3-and-D player. I've always liked watching him. And the other guy, Cam Johnson's also a very good player. Well, I would say saw a very good role player. He was having a career year, I believe, this year with his numbers. He was averaging nearly 14 points a game, shooting, let's see, 45% from three, 47 overall from the field. So very good role player. And also I just want to bring up Mikal Bridges' stats this year, 17.2 points, 46% overall from the field, and 38 from three. So the Suns gave up a lot of depth, to do this trade. Those two guys were just a big part of their core. Their record this year hasn't been good, but I felt that was a lot to do with injuries that they were suffering from. But then again, from what I've heard and what we've all heard, that they had chemistry issues that never got resolved after what happened last year during the playoffs. So they probably felt they had to break it up and try a huge gamble. And this is definitely a huge gamble. They gave up 4 first-round picks, which is a huge amount of picks to give up in this situation. Just if they don't end up winning a championship, this is definitely a move they'll regret for sure. At least for the rest of the decade, they'll be done. So they gave up a lot. I would say Jay Crowder is interesting. His situation, he hasn't played all year, so I don't think they will feel his loss depth-wise because he was already gone from them the start of the year. That's not really something that they're going to regret doing. TJ Warren, the other guy that got in this trade, he's a very solid to above average player, I would say. The last 2 years, though, have been rough for him. Last year, he missed the whole entire season with a foot injury. This year, he was trying to regain his footing, no pun intended. Just he was trying to work himself back into the groove. He hasn't played that much this year compared to previous years. He's only been playing 18 minutes a game, but in that short time, he was averaging 9.5 points on 51% shooting overall from the field. His three ball went down this year. He was only averaging 33%, but he's a guy who can be a good scorer off the bench, I believe, or if you give him enough minutes, he's going to get you somewhere between 15 to 20 a game. He could definitely be a good addition to the Suns this year. I don't know what the Suns are going to do about their power forward spot. Just that's a spot they haven't had anybody really legit to play it. Granted, they had Cam Johnson play it, and he was playing out of position, but I don't know how they're going to fill it right now. If they're going to do something where they play Durant at the 4 just to have him play that, or will they swap in TJ Warren at the 4? That's what I wonder. I think that position will be a weak spot for them heading forward into this. And you just look at their depth. I'm just looking at it right now. They're not really a deep team when you look at it. They have a lot Damian Lee and Shamet off the bench that have been solid, but both are basically guards. And you're just looking from the wing, the wing standpoint, just they don't have really much. I see Dario Saric is back. Forgot all about this guy. So he's been playing for them this year. He's a guy who can also play the power. He's definitely what you call a stretch 4, as they would say. So Yeah, I would say they're not really that deep. Sarek is a solid player. They have off the bench. I do like Lawndale. He's a solid backup, I would say, just what he provides. Trying to see who they have else in here. Yeah, so this is an interesting move. I had to say this that Durant got what he wanted. They gave him what he wanted, unlike with Kyrie. It's really put up a shut up time for Durant now. This is now his time to shine, to prove to all of us that he can lead a team to a championship being the guy. And he has I wouldn't say they're stacked, but star power. He has it pretty good with Devin Booker and Aiden. Aiden is a legit talent, I feel. Just and then you still kept Chris Paul. So this will be very entertaining. I actually want to see the Suns play the Warriors during the playoffs. That would be great. I'm hoping for that matchup now. Maybe they'll somehow meet. I'm crossing my fingers. I think that'll be the ultimate grudge matchup, seeing Durant versus the Warriors. That definitely would be a series of pride for both teams. Let's hope that happens. But interesting move. Really interesting. This will definitely have ripple effects on both of these organizations. Either it's one side's going to win the deal in a lopsided way. That's all I'll say. If the Suns win a championship, they won this deal in a lopsided fashion. But now if the Nets succeed and the Suns turn out to be a dumpster, they have fleeced them. If all those picks turn out to be lottery picks, that's what you call it, fleecing. So time will tell. Time will tell for sure which team won out in this situation. But it's definitely championship or bust for the Suns. They have some spots to fill out now when it comes to their weaknesses. I think they could use a little bit more depth at power forward. They're going to need some more wing players, I feel. Just they're kind of undersized now with what they got rid of. So we'll see how they fill out these positions now. And let's see how it goes down. That's all I had to say about this trade, and that's about it.